Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GM Sports Report, your weekly podcast on all things sports where every play counts. I'm Grant, and I'm here with my co-host Mason as we get ready to cover the latest news, headlines, and upcoming events going on in the sports world. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see all things GM Sports Report. Mason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Grant. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Let's just hop right into it. Start off our hot takes of the week. So I'll let you go ahead first and give your hot take this week.
All right. So, my hot take is: should Mac McClung be up there with Vince Carter on one of the best and most entertaining dunkers in All Star, history? Um, Really, just speaking that obviously he's won three back-to-back dunk contests now, and he's really the only thing that's been saving All Star, week in general. So, yeah, I think I don't think it's too crazy of a take, but yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be holding on to that Vince Carter title, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's just hard because like Mac McClung doesn't really play in the NBA. Like
Yeah,
it's hard to
yeah,
like I don't know. I think he's definitely put on some crazy shows the last 3 years, and I actually am going to be talking about him in a couple minutes. But yeah, I think that's a fair hot take. My
okay.
hot take of the week. Look, it's a slow time in sports right now. All right, there's not a whole lot going on. Football season's over. We're in the MLB offseason still, and we're on NBA All Star break right now. So there's not a whole lot going on right now. So my hot take of the week has absolutely nothing to do with sports, but apparently this is a hot take. I think you agree with me on this though. Um, Captain America: Brave New World. We went to go see that
What
last
the?
night. We went to go see that last night. That's
Yeah.
a good movie, okay? That's a solid 7.5 out of 10. All right. I don't get why it has like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Um, it has great action. The build up to the ending is really good, but I will say the ending does lack something, whether it's emotion or just a overall anticlimactic ending. But I really do think it's a good movie, and I couldn't think of anything sports related for my hot take of the week. And I know that this is surfacing around that this is some bad movie, but I highly recommend it. Go watch it. I think it's good. So yeah, that's my hot
Yeah.
take of the week.
No, I have to agree. Something that was kind of going through my mind when wait, should I talk? Maybe are we going to talk about spoilers or no
No,
spoilers?
no, no, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay. All right. So never mind then. I do agree with the anticlimactic kind of ending. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like you said, all the action was pretty good. Um, Not too many complaints. Everyone's complaining about all the reshoots and stuff about it, but I thought it was solid. Love Sam Wilson as Captain America. I think a lot of people are kind of upset about, him kind of holding that name now, but I think it went well, and he, kind of lived up to somewhat of his name so far. So we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. I had to throw you for a curveball there on the hot take of the week.
Yeah, definitely got me. Got me.
All right. Now we're going to talk about our underdog of the week. So, Mason, I'll let you go ahead with that.
All right. So also kind of along the dunk contest lines. It's gonna be Stefan. Is it Stefan or Stephen Castle?
Stephen Castle.
So
Yeah.
Stefan. Okay, Stephen Castle. Every he came in. Everyone's kind of knowing Mac McClung was gonna just walk away with it, but he definitely put on a show. He surprised me. I didn't really know his name too well until you know he went up there and started dunking, but he looked good, and I hope he kind of comes back next year and has a little bit more tricks to his sleeve, maybe get the title.
Yeah. I thought he had a very good, underrated dunk contest, like you said. So I think it's fit in that he's underdog of the week. I'm a big fan of his game. Been watching a little bit of his rookie season. He's looked very good. And the Spurs being able to get De'Aaron Fox without having to give him up was huge for them because I think they're really going to like Castle's future. So yeah, that's a good pick. My underdog of the week is the winner, Mac McClung. Just because he's not like a big name in the NBA or anything. What's crazy is he's won more money from winning the dunk contest than he's made in the NBA. So that's saying something alone right there. But like I was saying earlier, it's hard for me to kind of really like be like, oh, this guy is the best NBA dunker of all time, just because like he doesn't play in the NBA. But I will say it's looking like he might have saved the dunk contest. I don't know if you saw, but after the dunk contest, John Morant was tweeting out saying he might do it. Zach
Mhm.
LaVine was saying he might do it. Giannis said if Ja does it, he'll do it. So overall, maybe Mac McClung saved the dunk contest, and these stars are
Yeah.
going to start coming and doing the dunk contest like we wanted all along. So if he does that, Mac McClung will become my Duncan goat for
Yeah.
bringing back actual real NBA players into the dunk contest. But yeah, that's my underdog of the week because no one really knows about him. Everyone's making the meme of like Steve Rogers under the ice, and it's like how it melts when he when it's dunk contest time. That's Mac
Yeah.
McClung. But yeah, that's my underdog of the week. I thought it was a very entertaining dunk contest though.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, well, between
To add
Castle
on
and
that,
McClung. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, to kinda add on that too, with the whole not playing in the NBA stuff, it's kind of funny because in his pressers and, like, his interviews and stuff, he goes throughout this whole year just practicing all the dunks that he wants to
Yeah,
do. So
yeah.
he has, like, all this time and, like, that's, like, his main focus because, like we were saying during the, dunk contest, like, this is probably the only reason why he's employed still right now is just
Hmm.
so NBA can get the reviews and, like, all
Yeah.
that, so, yeah.
Yeah, but look, if this is what it takes to get, actual NBA players that we want to see in the dunk contest, I'll take it. All right. So that is my underdog of the week. All
Nice.
right, now we're gonna head over to NBA since we're talking about All Star Weekend a little bit. I have a lot of thoughts on All Star Weekend, but Mason, I just want to get your thoughts real quick on NBA All Star Weekend. What did you think of it as an event? The new format, did you like it? Did you not like it? Just tell me what you're thinking.
I mean, I wasn't too big of a fan of it. I was kinda questionable about it, going into the whole All-Star weekend thing, and, I thought it was just very unentertaining. I saw stats where it was, like, only 30 to 45 minutes of basketball was being played, and it was, like, an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of, like, downtime commercials, just interviews, Kevin Hart just talking, so, um another thing, like, if your player was elected or, like, selected for the All-Star game and he wasn't involved in, like, say, the dunk contest or three-point shootout, it's like you really didn't see too much of him, like, be able to actual play, especially if he was eliminated in, like, the first round. It's really just, like, kinda what are you watching? So, I
Yeah,
think it was very, underwhelming as a fan.
100%. I will say this real quick before I go into my big rant. I thought Saturday night events, the skills contest, 3-point contest,
Yeah.
and dunk contest, I thought those were all entertaining, specifically the 3-point contest. That's my favorite event every year because that's the one that seems everyone tries in. And obviously Tyler Hero won, so I'm happy about that. But I thought those were, good. I do miss the old skills challenge though, when it was a 1v1 kind of relay race sort of format. That was
Yeah.
really fun back in the day when they did it like that. But I don't hate the new format. Um, all right, here's my rant. This new All-Star game format was absolutely terrible. You might as well have called it the Kevin Hart All-Star game because you saw more of Kevin Hart than you did of actual NBA All-Stars. For all the fans that got to see their players playing in their first All-Star game, I'm one of them with Tyler Hero. We got to see probably 8 minutes of them playing, if that. And that's ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, we should be able to see our players, our favorite players, go and play in the All-Star game and compete. And even if it's not competitive, at least they're going out there and doing like fun things like shooting
Mhm.
half court shots, throwing crazy alley oops, doing all these crazy plays, seeing things you'll never get to see happen, like LeBron throwing a lob to Kevin Durant or something like that. You don't get to see that in the everyday NBA. Like, I like that product. I don't get why a lot of people are complaining about, oh, the competitiveness isn't there. Was it really there with this new format? I don't think so. And another thing, these players have worked their butts off to make it to the All-Star game. Why is there a team full of NBA rookies playing in the All-Star weekend? Stephon Castle and Dalton Connect, I like those players. They're good, young, talented players. But why am I seeing them more than I'm seeing Tyler Hero, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, all these guys? Like, why am I seeing them on my screen on the All-Star game? Like, you should not have rookies in the All-Star game. It's a terrible idea. I don't get the new format. I think it was awful. It was 90% advertising and entertainment and 10% actual basketball. It was 2.5 hours. The game was it started at 8 o'clock, ended around like 10:30, 11, and we probably watched a total of like 25 minutes of basketball be played, and it still wasn't competitive like they said it was going to do. So I just think it was an awful format. So I'm glad we agree there. With that being said, since we both seem to not like this new format, I kind of want to get your idea of what you think. Like, if you were the NBA commissioner, what would you do to try to fix this All-Star game?
I mean, all I can really think of is just bringing it back to what it used to be. Just 4 12-minute quarters, East versus West, just let them hoop. Just do their
Yeah,
thing. Because at the end of the day, that's what players were expecting to do, and not only is it just an accolade for players to kind of state on their resume of being a player, um, they look forward to kind of just putting on, somewhat of a show for their fans who want to come and support them. Um, so yeah, I mean, just really just bring it back to kind of what it used to be. Everyone's worried about it being all competitive and stuff. It's in the middle of the season. If you want them to be competitive, just watch the regular season. So,
exactly.
um, yeah, I mean, it's not like it's gonna be some 2K Legends game. They're gonna be conservative. They're gonna save themselves for their actual team. So, yeah, just that's all I can think of.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that that should be the main format they just go back to is East versus West. Maybe add in the stakes, maybe like MLB does, where like if the East wins, you get home court advantage in the finals, or if the West wins, the West gets home court advantage in the finals. Maybe that would add some competitiveness. Maybe add like a $10 million bonus to who wins the MVP award for the All Star game. If you really care about the competitiveness that much. But I think what I learned from this new format is I don't care about the competitiveness. I'm more entertained when I'm watching guys, Damian Lillard, shoot from half court 3 straight possessions and draining it every time. And even when it's like they're not playing defense, at least it's like an offensive like masterclass, and you're seeing like these. They're still close. They're high scoring games, but they're still close. I mean, what year was it when it was like 157 to 154, and it came down to the wire there? I think Kyle Lowry
Mhm.
drew a charge in that game. Like, when have you ever seen a charge drawn in the All Star game? So I like that format. But if Adam Silver, for whatever reason, feels like he needs some new format, I think the format that I like that I've seen floating around is you do the USA versus the world format. I think that's a decent
Mm,
idea because if there is one thing that brings competitiveness, it is playing for your country. I mean, we're seeing it right now in the NHL. They're doing the Four Nations tournament right now.
yeah.
And these are just exhibition games, and these guys are going all out. So it is always like a little bit of pride when you're playing for like your country or like the world or whatever. So I think maybe that could add competitiveness, and I could see it going that route because, the NBA has grown tremendously in that aspect. There's tons of international superstars in the NBA now. Uh, but I don't know off the top of my head if it would still be like really even teams because my only complaint about that style format is, what if there's like less American or more American all stars than there is world all stars, so someone has to get snubbed on the USA side of things because we're doing this new world versus USA format. But I do think that's a decent idea, and that would be surely a lot better than what happened this previous All Star game. So that would be interesting as a new format. But I'm all for the classic East versus West 4 quarter regular style game personally. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, we're about 2/3 into the NBA season, which is absolutely crazy. This season has flown by. Um, Mason, I just want to get your early predictions on your two favorite teams in the East and your two favorite teams in the West. Like, who are you watching out for as this season starts to come into playoff time?
Obviously, unbiasedly, I'll go. I think the ECF could potentially, if the Cavs stay on course, it could be Celtics Cavs. But I could also see them being like kind of crumbling. And with Knicks getting OG and Mitchell Robinson back, we could end up making Eastern Conference if everyone stays healthy. So I could see Celtics versus Knicks, but I just don't see anyone really beating the Celtics. Right now, as sad as it is. And then West, I can see it being Thunder Nuggets. I'm also kind of eyeing Memphis and Houston though. I think that Houston is still a bit of a young team. I'm not too sure if the veterans could, I guess, propel them through the playoffs as much as they need. I think if you give them another season or two, they'll be able to get there. But as of right now, they still might need some time. So, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. But yeah, there's just a lot. West, it seems like it's a lot more of a broad, like we've been saying all season. It's a lot more broad as far as when it kind of comes down to the final two or whenever it comes to West Conference Finals. But East, it's like the top two, three teams, maybe four. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with you there about the East and West. I think the East really only has like a few true
Hmm.
contenders, and I think the West has a lot more options you can go.
Yeah,
For my East favorites, this really pains me to say because these are my two least favorite teams in the East, but I really think the true contenders out of the East are the Celtics and Knicks. I want to be proven wrong by the Cavs so badly, but there's just something in my brain that's telling me when it comes playoff
yeah,
time, they're not going to be able to keep up with the Celtics and Knicks. I don't think they have that firepower. They don't have that experience that some of those guys have. Obviously, on the Celtics, they have championship experience throughout
yeah,
their whole roster because it's basically the same team. Uh, I want to be proven wrong by the Cavs so bad. I really like their team. I love Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, I like Darius Garland and Mobley and Allen. I love all those guys, and I do think they're very talented. But I'm just almost like questioning if they're gonna be that good come playoff time because they haven't this core of players they haven't been that great in the playoffs so far as a core. But
yeah.
this could be a completely different year for them, and who knows? So yeah, I got the Celtics and Knicks as the two favorites in the East right now. For the West, I had the exact same as you. I think it's OKC and the Nuggets. The Nuggets have really come alive as of late. Jamal Murray's starting to get comfortable again. He started off the season pretty rough, but
Yeah.
he's really come into his own. And obviously, they have the experience over there when it comes playoff time, which that's always a big thing in my mind is like who the most experienced teams are. I think experience wins championships, but there's no denying OKC's talent. I witnessed this firsthand. The Heat were playing them the other night and up by like 15 points going into the fourth quarter, and they went on like a 25-0 run, like just like it was nothing. Flipped the switch, got unlimited stops on defense. Their defense is incredible, and they hit shots when they need to hit shots. So I think OKC is definitely my favorite for coming out of the West. Now there is a team to watch out for. Although they are 10th place in the West right now, I am not counting out the Golden State Warriors. They are 3-1 since the Jimmy Butler trade. Their vibes are at an all-time high right now. Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler love each other, which I was not expecting that to happen. Um, but when it comes playoff time, love him or hate him, Jimmy Butler is a different animal. Like he's gonna be that guy. And now he has a guy like Stephen Curry, the greatest point guard of all time, next to him in the playoffs. This is giving me heavy vibes because of where they're seated at right now to when we were the 8th seed and we made it all the way to the finals. But now instead of Jimmy Butler carrying along a bunch of undrafted guys, it's gonna be Steph Curry and playoff Jimmy Butler playing in the playoffs. And then the Warriors are getting Jonathan Kuminga back soon, who has all-star potential. So he might add a whole new element to them. So I'm not counting out the Golden State Warriors. That is not a team I would want to face in the first round, second round of the playoffs. So I'm just telling you right now, watch out for the Warriors. I'm very high on them, and I'm not just saying that because of Jimmy, but that duo is going to be crazy in the playoffs. I'm excited to see it.
Mhm.
All right. Now we're going to slide over to the NFL because last week Mason had asked a question which sparked a thought in my mind about our favorite moments of the season. So we're going to do a quick 5-1 list each of our favorite moments from the season. Doesn't have to be our team or anything like that. So Mason, I'll let you go ahead. What are your 5-1 best moments from the last NFL season?
All right. So at number 5, I have Garrett Wilson with the Jordan logo one-handed
Mm,
snag. Just thought it was probably the one of the best catches of the season. Had to put it on the list. At number 4, I think it was his first game starting, if I'm not mistaken, but Drake May's miraculous game winner versus the Titans, where he's like scrambling around the backfield
yeah,
for
I
like,
remember
I don't
that.
know, like 20 seconds or something, and then just throws like a touchdown over to the right side of the field. And that was just crazy. So that was really cool to see. And 3, I will kind of have a little bit of bias in this because it was when I still had hope in the Giants this season. And that was the Giants game-winning block field goal. I kind of mentioned it last year or last
Hmm.
week. It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, wow, we finally got something good to happen for us, and like this is cool. So Yeah, that'll be 3, and then 2, Jaden Daniels Hail Mary. Just watching that live. I know I mentioned the top 2 last week, but that one was just insane. I knew that one was gonna be all over ESPN and stuff. And
Oh
then
yeah.
number 1 has to be Saquon Hurdle. I don't think I know we haven't seen anything like that in the NFL at all. I can't even think of a move that would be remotely close. Not only just the hurdle, but it was a setup to the hurdle, and it's just if I'm the guy that got hurdled, I'd be saying that for the rest of my life. I don't care if that's demeaning or anything. It's like I'm the guy who got hurdled by Saquon Barkley like that.
Yeah.
So that might be a little Saquon glaze right there, but still, yeah, that's my
Hey,
5-1.
it's a very good list. My number 5 is kind of like a personal number 5. That was the Dolphins
That's
versus
fine.
49ers game we went to for my birthday trip. Dolphins won 29-17. There was a game-winning interception at the end, and the Devon Achan broke out for a big touchdown run to
Yeah.
win the game. We were surrounded by the most annoying 49ers fans ever,
Oh
so
my
it was
god.
so satisfying seeing the Dolphins win that game. So that's like a
All
very
I see is
personal
red.
number 5 for me.
All
All
I
right.
see is
You're giving
red.
me PTSD right now. But yeah, that was also a
We
really fun
couldn't
trip.
count how many times.
Oh, I know. Every 5 seconds, all I see is red. But it was very satisfying when we won. So I wouldn't have it any other way. And that did give Dolphins fans the very smallest hope of playoff chances still being alive. So that's my
That was a
number 5.
good game. That was a great
It
game.
was. It was. Number 4, I also put this play down. The Garrett Wilson Halloween one-handed touchdown catch. Absolutely crazy catch at the time. There was fans even saying it was better than the Odell catch. I was not one of those fans. I did not think it was better than Odell's catch, but it was a crazy catch. Probably the best catch of the season,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's my number 4. My number 3 is another kind of personal one, like one of my personal favorite moments of the season, and that was the Jameis Winston legacy game in the snow when he had the 24-19
With
upset
the
over the Steelers,
Steelers.
the Steelers were looked
Yeah.
at as a really good team at that
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
so
yeah.
seeing Jameis Winston go out there and winning, and then being so happy doing the snow angels out in the field after that, that was one of my favorite moments personally during the NFL season. So I had to put that at number 3.
I think he had,
Although,
like, 500 yards, 4
yeah, it
touchdowns, and,
was
like,
some
2
crazy
interceptions
stat
or
line.
something.
Yeah, it was
It was
some Jameis
wild.
Winston stat line. Uh, And although he did not have any more success for the rest of the season, I was
No.
very happy to see him have his moment. Future Giants quarterback next season, some would say. So, love Jameis
No.
Winston. That's my number 3. Number 2, I also have the Jaden Daniels Hail Mary. Just absolutely crazy. It was a good game. It was the kind of battle of rookie quarterbacks between him and Caleb Williams. So to see it end like that, I thought was an all-time classic, like that we'll remember for the next few years.
Oh, yeah.
And number 1, I also have the Saquon backwards hurdle. Like you said, we've just never seen anything like that before. It's absolutely insane. Just crazy. I still like it baffles me
I
every time
know,
I
I
see that
know.
highlight. It's unbelievable. So that's my number 1, and that is my top 5 list. I think we both had phenomenal lists. It was a good NFL season, although our teams were both very
Yeah.
uh, under our expectations, but it was a good NFL season. So I think those were good
Yeah.
lists. All right, now we're sliding over to the MLB because I am so excited for spring training to start back up. It actually starts back up later this week, I believe.
Friday.
Yep. So with that being said, I kind of just want to get our thoughts of our teams because you're a Yankees fan, I'm a Cubs fan. I just want to get your early thoughts about like spring training, what you're looking forward to, what you thought the off season was like, all that stuff. I want to know.
So I thought the Yankees did as well as they could, not getting Soto. Obviously that was the biggest thing every Yankees fan wanted to have get done or just know what was going to happen with him. Didn't get him. Obviously, the Yankees then addressed our bullpen. Got some good arms with Max Fried. Shoot, what was his name? Williams.
Devin Williams, yeah.
Dang, I can't. Devin Williams, great closer. And it is apparent that we are going to be starting, I think, Jason Dominguez at left field. So that'll be
Hmm.
very interesting to see. Very much looking forward to seeing that in spring training. And yeah, I'm I'm really looking forward to see how we start off the season. I'm going to be paying very close attention to spring training. I might go to a couple games, but yeah, I'm very excited. Giants are out the way now, so now I can just focus on Knicks and Yankees. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as the Cubs offseason went, it started out with a bang, obviously, getting Kyle Tucker. We finally have that superstar we've been looking for. And I can't wait to see how that plays out. I think they made some really good marginal moves. They got some bullpen help. Obviously, they got Ryan Presley. We got Eli Morgan. A couple good arms that are going to be at the back end of the bullpen, which we really desperately needed. I did really want Alex Bregman, and we were one of the finalists, 3 teams for him. But for that money, I wasn't really too upset about missing out on him. He's making a ton of money for an older third baseman, and we do have Matt Shaw, who is our number 1 rookie that's supposed to step in and play third base for us. So I'm looking forward to that. I was almost looking more forward to Alex Bregman, kind of just as a security blanket if Matt Shaw started out slow. But the Cubs actually did just sign a couple hours ago Justin Turner, who's a very good veteran, third base, first base, right-handed bat. So that should be interesting. That makes me feel a lot better about Matt Shaw now. And I'm just really excited to see these young guys in spring training because the Cubs have such a great prospect list. Cade Horton, Moises Baileros, or whatever his last name is, that catcher we have. Obviously, you got Matt Shaw, you got Triantos, you got Canario, Alcantara. You got all these top 25 prospects that I'm excited to see how they play out. And overall, I think the team did get better, and I think they should be the favorite in the NL Central. I think they are better than the Brewers. My only complaint about the Cubs is I really wanted them to go get one more starting pitcher, whether it was through the trade or free agency. I really wanted to see them get one more. They got Colin Ray, who's like he's okay. And obviously they got Matthew Boyd, who's pretty solid, but I really wanted to see him go get a guy that you could fit in between Steele and Imanaga. I wanted to see them get like a true number 2 starter, but that didn't happen. Maybe it'll happen come trade deadline time. But yeah, I'm excited for this Cubs season. I think this is the first time we might reach 90 wins in a long time. I have very high expectations for this group. Obviously can't wait to see Kyle Tucker. I can't wait to see what kind of jump Pete Crow Armstrong makes this upcoming season. So there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. And I just can't wait for baseball to be back. So looking forward to all the spring training games and stuff like that. You and me might have to go out to a couple games, try to go watch some spring training. Because in my opinion, I love going to spring training games. It's one of the most fun things to do. So looking forward to the season.
Yep.
All right. Now we're going into segment number 3, which is the trivia segment. I went last week, so it is now Mason's turn. I will be giving Mason 5 trivia questions. And what do we call it? Do you know ball is the name of the segment now. So we'll see if Mason knows ball today. I don't think these are too hard of questions. I knew 3 out of 5 off the top of my head without researching. So I think you should be all right. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
All right. The first question is Giants question. What year did the New York Giants join the NFL?
1925.
Good job.
Well, that's when we were founded, but it wasn't NFL then. It was, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You got it right. All right, you got it right.
Yes.
Good job. Threw you a little lob there for the first one. All right, here's question number 2. Because of the dunk contest, Mac McClung won his 3rd dunk contest, making him and one New York Knicks player the only 2 to do so. Who is the Knicks player that won 3 dunk contests?
It wouldn't be. Hold on. Dang, I forgot his name. It wouldn't be Nate Robinson, would it?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it will be. I have no idea who else.
It is Nate Robinson. You're correct.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was a nice little easy one.
Wow.
Nate, 2 for 2. Yeah. You're in your bag right now. This one's another easy one that you should get. Who is the all-time saves leader for the New York Yankees?
Oh, shoot. No, I remember his name. Mariano.
Yeah. Mariano Rivera is the all-time saves leader for the New York Yankees.
I could not remember his name. I saw his face, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm losing it. Okay.
Yep. So you're 3 for 3 now,
Okay.
and I'm basically obviously giving you this point because you're gonna know this. Who is the Giants' all-time rushing leader?
Oh, wasn't it all-time Russian leader?
Yeah.
Dang, I might not know it.
Really?
Cause I want to say Tiki Barber. I'm trying to think who else it could be. I think I'm overcomplicating it because I don't think Saquon got it. All right, it'll be Tiki Barber.
Final answer, Tiki Barber.
Yeah.
You are correct. You are 4 for 4. It is Tiki
Wow.
Barber.
Okay, I
Um,
overcomplicated the heck out
yeah,
of
you
that
did.
one.
I was
Okay.
like, "There's no way this man's about to sell
I
this
was like,
right now."
Saquon didn't get it. It wasn't Ahmad Bradshaw. I was because I know Jacob Jacob's got the touchdown record. So all right.
Yeah. All right. I think you're gonna go 5 for 5 because I think you should know this one. Besides Trey Young, who is the owner of the New York Knicks?
Um,
Are you on your phone right now?
Jalen Brunson. No, my hands are here. Um,
No, like the actual owner. Who owns the New York Knicks?
dude, I don't think I know
Really?
because Leon Rose is the GM.
Yeah, it's not him.
No, I don't know.
Oh. Well, it is
Wow.
James Dolan is the owner of the New York
Oh yeah,
Knicks,
dude. No
besides
one
Trey
talks
Young.
about that man. No one talks about that man.
Interesting. See, I didn't know because like the Heat fans, we always talk about Mickey Arison. So like it's
No.
like I know it instantly when they ask like who the owner of the Heat is because of how much we talk about him. I didn't know if they talked about him a lot in New
Dang
York
it.
or not. So
No, not at all. They talk about Rose more than him, obviously, because of GM.
gotcha.
Yankees, they talk about him all the time
Right.
though.
Right. All right.
Dang
Well,
it.
4 out of 5. That's pretty
Well,
good. You did a lot better
4
than I did
5.
last week. That's for sure. So I'd say you know
Yeah.
ball. So that's pretty good.
What were the ones you said you didn't know that you had to look up?
I didn't know the exact year the Giants began, and I didn't know the owner of the Knicks. I didn't know him off the
Okay.
top of my head either,
Yeah.
but I knew the other
Yeah.
three.
Owner
I was a
owner
big Nate
got me.
Robinson guy,
Should have
so I
known
was
that.
excited to include him in the slam dunk
Mm,
contest question there.
I almost threw out, oh, who's the guy who got knocked out by Jake Paul, but I couldn't do that.
Wow, that would have been crazy
I didn't do it.
to do
I didn't
that.
do it. I didn't do it.
Disrespecting a
I
Knicks
like
legend like that.
I went further back in my brain, and I was like, because I saw them play like a 2-second clip of them on the All-Star Dunk Contest, so I was like, oh, that's Nate Robinson. So
Yep.
that was the only Knicks thing I saw in there.
I thought you were gonna say Jericho
Okay.
Sims.
Dude, what?
I'm just kidding. All right. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap up the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of GM Sports Report, where every play counts. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be able to see our weekly episodes on all things sports. For additional content, check the description to see links to our Instagram and TikTok accounts. This is Grant Mason signing off for now. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, guys.